Dogs pulling on leash is something I get called about all the time. So today I'm going to reveal to you just how I train a dog for this problem. Let's jump right in.
ExclusiveDogTraining.com. ExclusiveDogTraining.com.
Welcome back to ExclusiveDogTraining.com, where you can train your own dog from start to finish. Do this by subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any valuable content. Now I know there's a bunch of little tricks out there that seem to prevent leash pulling, but really they only work on certain dogs, and they're only temporary anyway. What you need is a reliable heel. Look, I'm heeling. That's not the heel I'm talking about. What I mean is when a dog is trained to walk behind your left heel. Here, let me show you on a dog who's never heeled a day in his life. I begin by luring Flynn. My goal is to maneuver him into a capital J, which would be a 180 facing the same direction as me. Notice he wants to engage, but he doesn't get it right away. The first thing I do is pull the treat away slowly to help him. The second thing I do is I move back. Try to get him to engage a little. It doesn't work. The third thing I do is I reward him for anything. Basically, I'm doing shaping along with luring, and a lot of the times you are. So for the next 30 seconds or more, I will be very repetitious with Flynn. I want to get him past the initial point of mastery. In psychology, there's a funny term called overlearning. It's basically when you get past the initial effort that you have to put into something. So if you ever start a new job and then whatever you're doing at the beginning becomes easy and then you start adding more criteria to your workload, that's called overlearning. Now watch what I'm going to do right here. Now watch here. If you caught that, I took advantage of his movement and quickly moved my hand to throw himself into position. Here, notice as my arm goes behind me, my palm goes from front to back. Flynn, heel. So we've added command structure, which is dog's name plus command. Also, he's going to be looking pretty good where I can show you him in different directions. Good. Flynn, heel. Good. Now notice I'm adding praise. It's not just enough to add praise to your training. Check out my video on praise to really understand what I'm doing here. Now on this next repetition that I do, notice I'm not luring him as much. All I have to do is wiggle my finger. Just think, he's a four-legged animal. All he wants to do is move forward anyway. Also note that I hold the treat behind me to improve his position. Okay, the most exciting part of all of this, adding steps to your dog's heel. I would add one step at a time and do it 2 to 3 times before moving to the next step. Also, I wouldn't go past 4 steps before going on to a variable reward schedule. Right now, Flynn is on what's called a fixed schedule. It just means he's getting one every single time. And for this next repetition, notice how patient I am with Flynn. I already know that he knows heel good at this point. I just wait, and there he comes. And back to command structure, the release is dog's name plus free. And notice I finish saying it before my hand moves. Heel. And now we're getting on to the variable reward schedule, the wonderful thing I mentioned earlier. So all it is everything is varied or unpredictable. So that means it could be the praise, the food, the amount of steps we're taking. It's unpredictable. So it'll make the dog or human work harder for it. So there, I pretty much rewarded him for doing nothing. But now we're about to take a bunch more steps, and I'm adding in turns. For this next repetition, as part of the variable reward schedule, I release Flynn while moving. At this point, Flynn and I are going to start side steps. I only do this until it becomes second nature, which only takes a couple minutes. Heel. For this next repetition, Flynn breaks his heel command. Notice how I get him back in by movement. I step back and I get him to shuffle in. You'll also notice how good his sidestep is getting. At this point, don't reward him for sidesteps anymore. Instead, do a sidestep, but then continue walking. Let's recap a few things that we covered. There's marking, fading, fixed schedule, where the dog gets the treat every time. And then there was the variable reward schedule. We did side steps, and we also did command structure. Other than that, I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, slap the like button.
That way I don't have to you.
I'm just farting around. I'll see you next time, and enjoy your doggy.